Yeah. Okay. Well, that was convenience again. What I was going to say, and I have to spell words out and kind of speak in code. Is boy, they have a slick machine running down there, and I know the people that are doing it. I know where they are, what parts of the city they're in, and they are all people that are, I'd say, in their, I'm going to go ahead and say in their 70s. Many of them have trained the younger weirdos. When I say weirdos, I mean the most strange, overweight, insane looking, crazy looking, 200-pound pink haired looking women. No one even thinks to check their appearance in the mirror or even tries anymore, um, or even showers anymore for that matter. Um, and they have that machine trained, and they have churches involved, and they have little metal boxes where all you need to do is drop it in and they count it with no verification of your ID due to COVID. That's in Wisconsin. The Constitution and the state constitution was completely suspended for that. But it was real funny how Trump was like landsliding and everything shut down. And then as I'm driving from, well, it's the northwest side, which they're now calling the old North Milwaukee. What the fuck? It's not old, it's still quite booming. I suppose they could call it that in order to get some sort of special district made to get money to put up some of these damn government block houses. Although they'd have to tear down a bunch of other houses because it's all residential. But I was driving from that side of town to downtown, and when I went past the Westin that was built specifically for the Democrat convention for 2020, it was built for that. And I said to myself, what in the frick is that? These big, like, like small UPS sized trucks, like smaller trucks, painted white, 3 of them lined up. I'm like, what the fuck's that? On Van Buren Street in Milwaukee, right off I-94. You can look it up. I said, what the fuck is this shit? Oh, that doesn't look right. How convenient, how odd, how weird. Right near the federal building. Even more weird. All right. And they're going to time this one out because of my topic matter. All right. I think Trump was able to take these issues and move super quick and put them out there and get them popular, like within 2 weeks. He has the thing about Trump, the difference between Trump and Robert is Trump is more direct and more quick and more blunt, which people deem offensive. Like people in the main MSM and in political circles, they deem that to be offensive. But people like me, normal American average, I'm not even going to say average because I don't believe anybody is just average. If you just think you're average, that means you're not using your potential to the full max. Because it just takes all it takes is just a tiny seed in your mind to make it grow. And there are so many obstacles right now. It's such bullshit. It's so insane. I can't even believe it. Like when I first started selling medical devices, there was a girl and she was trying to get pregnant, and my manager wanted me. She wasn't really very outgoing and she didn't branch out enough. And my boss wanted to give me her territory. And I know she was pissed off at me. And I know she never really deep down in her heart liked me, but she never was mean or nasty to me. She was perhaps a tad sarcastic at times, but nothing I couldn't deal with. And once she said to me before I got going, and then I started to really, kick her butt and slap it all over the place. She said, well, I said, I don't know if I can really, I said, what are your secrets for really doing this? Or what is it that you do? Or how do you think I can do this? She said, just get in your car and drive and just start meeting as many people as you can and just do it. Just all you need is a tank of gas, which back then cost me about $13. I had a small car, but I have the same size gas tank in my VW, I think. That cost me about $60. What used to cost me $13 towards the end of the 90s. It must be noted that during Trump's presidency, it was maybe 25. At some points, the gas in the area that I lived in had gone down to 89 cents for short periods, but nonetheless. So we were at 179, we're at like 360. We're up $2 a gallon. That's a lot for Americans because our economy is based on mobility. Now, I don't mind, I wouldn't mind having more of a smaller community base and that type of thing, but it doesn't, unfortunately, really work for our country. It's because our country's too big for that. It doesn't bother me to go into that mode, but it's just not a feasible plan right now. Okay. Okay. I wish I had my other thing. I'll do a better one tomorrow where he's talking about the war. Okay. He's talking about Brazil. See, he needs to save. Okay, he needs to do what Trump did, is do each issue like a foreign policy issue, like Black small businesses, like Hispanic small businesses. He went to each community, laid out their issues, and then did his marketing plan. So he was a salesperson. You guys are going to say, oh, who the fuck wants a salesperson? No, he was more than that. He was very smart. He was also a solutions guy and an ideas guy. But first and foremost, he was trained as a salesperson and as basically a project manager to get the project completed. Kennedy is more of a historian, and so knowledgeable. Yet, if you compare them side by side, Kennedy would be much better at present. He would kick and lick the asses of these people up and down and tell them to get fucked and get out of his way, I think. Trump, on the other hand, was more like, let's make a deal. Any anti-Trump comments, really, honestly, I'm just going to get pissed at. Tell me something intellectual instead of just being critical. Now, what I'm doing, this is constructive, though, is what Trump did as compared to what Kennedy is doing right now. As Trump said, tell me your experiences. And he did a shorter speech outlining the issues, stating the issues. As he said, you can't solve a problem unless you identify it first. And then he went to each segment of the country and identified each problem off prompter. That's what gained my support. Right now, with these wooden speeches on a teleprompter where he's facing one direction, facing the other. No, it's difficult for me. But there's no way I would ever support anyone. I would do whatever it takes to go against Joe Biden. But I did that, against Obama, and look how far it got me. It didn't, all I did was waste my time. I'd say money, but I was paid. But I at least gave it my best shot. And I would have done it without getting paid. I just picked up the phone and said, do you have any paid positions available? This is how easy it is, you guys. I want you to remember that. And that goes for any company. Sometimes it takes you 3 weeks to a month to get through to the person who hires. I've done that too. Who's your head of human resources at this company? I just need, or you find out. And then you ask for that person as if you're doing business with them all the time. Hi, can I speak to Jen Smith, please? Jen Smith, please? Is she in right now, or is she on the phone? Okay. I'll try calling back later. It's rather urgent. Okay, thank you. And then when you finally get through to that person, they're like, twice this happened to me in the last couple of years. Well, before my sister died anyway. Because then my parents got sick right away because they were so stressed out. How did you get, they both said to me, they were both women, how did you get through to me anyway? Please, may I ask you how? And I said, well, that's what I do. That's my job. That's part of how I said, this is what I said. I said, I just asked. Because that was what when I was in training with some of the top people that probably have Wikipedia pages. I know at least one of them does. He always said, just ask. Ask. So he's talking about Saudi Arabia. He's talking about the war. He's talking about EPA, Monsanto. Okay, he needs to do each one of these separate issues separately. I'm just saying. When he talks about the war, okay. He's talking about Appalachia. We know, well, okay. We didn't get that. We didn't get to that part. 1.5 million veterans who are living below the poverty line. Actually, Trump did quite a bit for veterans, which was all erased by this fucker Biden. Now, okay. What I just said. The problem with this war, because I'm going to switch to another site, is that the American people are being lied to. Many of these pictures that are put out there are from other wars and or photoshopped. Specifically, the picture, the children holding hands looking at the tank, that thing's been used since Iraq, I believe, or Afghanistan. Pompous provocation against war, Wagner PMC completely failed. Okay. I'm going to have to use code. This was a fake story. In his turn, another former fighter, Uladrov, claimed he was ordered to... Okay. I can't talk about all this. The shocking testimonies. See, that's the problem. This comes out the same day as everything else. They are going to amp up the WAR, and they are going to amp up a new VIRUS. It's the only way. And the bots. Because let me tell you something, a lot of the younger people are absolutely down with everything that's going on right now because they don't have to do anything. They live with mama and dada. They don't know what it's like to live in an economy where they can actually get a decent job. They don't know what it's like to have just a moniker of prosperity and see this future where you're looking over this rainbow and going, I think I can fucking do this. I feel good about it. I know how to do it. I've been shown how to do it. I've watched this happen. I can do it myself. Sometimes I spent all day just like looking in the mirror, practicing from maybe 10 in the morning to like 1 in the afternoon. I am not kidding. I was so nervous. And then I'd start doing some cold calls. I'd maybe do just a couple. And then I'd drive home maybe 5, 6 o'clock. And I'd say, that wasn't so bad. And that doctor did agree to sit down and talk with me. Yeah. All right. Here we go. So anyway, they lied. I'm going to read the text. I'm just literally drunk a little bit, Okay. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Let's redo this. I don't know how he got to me, the blackmailer, the fact that I was in prison. So you were threatened. Am I correct? I do that. They have a lead. So I do. I don't have a phone. How is he doing this now, though? No, what's right? What's right is fuck. I had to say that because I didn't have anyone. I'm just literally drunk, He's going to be killed now. So, they threaten. Blackmail is the so you were threatened. Yes, they have dirty information on me, so they forced you to say what you said in the movie, right? Yeah, that's right. I had to say it. And what you say in this video, is there at least a word of truth? Is there what Oshikin told you to say? I said what I was told to say. That is nothing you claimed happened. Prigozhin is a man. He saved our lives and he was moving right there. They were just trying to exploit me now. Well, like a condom. They just took advantage of my past criminal record. There's such crap there. Gulag.net, they have footage showing them killing me, mocking me, raping me. I didn't want it to be published, but they had this footage. And I was blackmailed with it. Oshikin, sent me 2 videos when I was with my wife, and he said, and what's next? And he said, well, I think, like that. Were you blackmailed? Blackmailed, yes. He sent me 2 videos when I was with my wife. I said, what's next? He said, think. That's what he told me. They have these videos of torture, bad things, it's called gulag.net. There's darkness. You'll see, you'll understand. The only thing I want is this war to end. And my opinion is that Prigozhin is a great man. To be honest, he's treating us all seriously. All I said in this interview was written on paper. Gulag.net confirmed. Gulagu, I apologize for that. .net confirmed Uladrov's revelation immediately, publishing the dirty video online. The head of Gulagu.net wanted to destroy the reputation of Prigozhin, but in the end, he destroyed his own career. So the evidence... Is this Twitter? So the evidence of Wagner's atrocities was obtained as a result of blackmail. The Russian oppositionist threatened to make public videos of prisoner rapes, prisoners who had to say prepared words. This is a dirty blackmail. When this was disclosed today, he published these rapes. Okay. And it goes on. It's very complicated. It turned out Yul Dorov was not even fighting on the front line. Videos of his former comrades were published by Wagner in sources revealing that Yul Dorov was a manual worker in the rear areas. Since November, he has been working in the rear as he could not carry out combat operations. His unit did not participate in battles either in Soledar or Bakhmut. Moreover, he was not a commander but served under the command of a fighter with the call sign Gagin. And it's just really a long story. What I'm trying to say is this is a war of propaganda. And he has to tiptoe around this. So I suspect that we're going to see an uptick in anti-Russian this, anti-Russian that. And then Joe Biden will have a prepared speech saying, how dare he come out? These people are dying, even though what you have is this army of mainly of Christians killing other Christians. So, okay. Well, I don't know if this made sense, but this is just for my followers. So, okay.